It may be the most addictive toy in history. Nintendo video games. They first arrived from Japan, and now millions of American kids are hooked and mesmerized. When they do stop to talk, it's in a language only they understand.
Nintendo simply has the best games. Never has there been a toy that's been this successful.
This is as big or bigger than anything the toy industry has ever seen.
So let's hear it, man. So NES. I was not an NES kid. I didn't have an NES until like 88, 89 when I would go to a friend's house and finally start playing it. I grew up with Sega Master System, so I didn't have an NES, but I still loved it. I still love it to this day. So let me hear. What are the best games on NES? I've got 3 or 4 myself. But.
My top 2 always were Contra and Zelda.
So I hate Zelda. Tell me why you love it. It's the boringest game.
It was one of the first adventure games where you could cruise around and not have to follow the storyline in order.
I guess I just don't get it. Yeah, I mean, it
I
was an open world.
So it was just way more fun than Mario because Mario was left.
Totally agree.
So you guys like Zelda more than Mario, and I think that's
I don't like the side scroller game like Mario, Sonic, any of those where it's just like constant left to right. Mm-hmm. At least Zelda, you could kind of. There was a flow to the story, but at least you could go the wrong way for a long time, and it didn't matter.
And hunt around and not do the storyline.
Right, totally.
Zelda did have more of a computer game feel than Mario did, obviously, but there was a lot of those like choose your own adventure type computer games on PC that Zelda always felt like, but it was never fun to me. I tried to play it so many times, and there were a lot of games that tried to rip off Zelda and Sega and Nintendo. There was a lot of games that came out with that same like top view, walking around like doing shit. By that time in my life that those games were popular, it was all sports all the time. Mike Tyson's Punch Out, not Punch Out, but like the original one. Double Dribble, Blades of Steel, Baseball Stars, like RBI Baseball. Like those are the games that I remember the most, like on NES, but not really games you could play with other people, right? Like it was always like we had like 2 or 3 people in a room playing, so. I mean, I just never was any good at Mario or Zelda or any of those games.
My favorite part of RBI baseball is when you hit a pop fly and you didn't know it was a home run or just a catch, and it did that sound. Boo! And you would just watch, like, come on now, fuck.
I always liked the outfield. The outfield, all the guys ran together.
Yeah.
Like T-ball.
Yeah.
And the crowd was just like multicolored.
Yes.
Like you did a home run, they would just change multicolored.
I think Baseball Stars is still the best baseball game for Nintendo.
I like Baseball Stars.
That was the only one where you could build your own team and like create your own players and attributes and all that stuff.
Bases Loaded was good too. Bases Loaded 2 was a good game. Those a couple of good games.
I always
never played the second one. I've only played the first one.
Roger Clemens.
The second one was the good one.
Just ice hockey, where it was the big fat guy, the skinny guy, and the medium guy.
Oh, yeah, it was like
Blades of Steel, man.
Blades of Steel was cool.
I played ice hockey. I don't know.
Still cool.
Skate or Die. Did you have Skate or Die? Did you guys ever play that one?
Oh, I remember that.
I saw
I never. It was
Paperboy.
By the way, it was one of those games you fucking rented because they look cool, and you got it home and played it 5 minutes, and you were like, "This game's fucking garbage." Like it
RC Pro-Am. Did you ever play that?
Yeah, it was
good.
RC Pro-Am is still playable today.
That was cool.
I still think that game.
Yeah, the cars and the jumps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you guys remember the Konami code for Contra?
Totally.
If you forgot it, you're retarded.
Now, do you remember Super C, the second one?
I remember the game. I don't remember.
The code was a little bit different, and I can't remember. I know it started with. I'm pretty sure it started with down up because they changed it up.
Mhm.
But it was shorter. It was shorter. But I think you only got 10 lives instead of 30, which is kind of weak. But
NES had a lot of classic games, and I don't know if they were just classic because it was there. But when you say Contra, I immediately think about Metroid. Like those two games.
Yeah,
in my
I
head,
never
like,
played Metroid.
Like those two games are like locked together for some reason in my head. That and like Mega Man. Like for some reason those
Mega Man.
Mega Man
like that.
was
It was like that genre that I was the same.
Was Mega Man Sega though? Or
No,
just
Nintendo.
It's
Was it?
Nintendo.
What about
It's where the
Battletoads?
one
You
on
guys
the
play that?
box of Mega Man had a guy on the front with a gun, like the artistry, but Mega Man never had a gun.
so, do you guys remember a game called Metal Gear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it go solid? Yeah,
Snake.
totally.
No, not like the original. I don't think it was even solid. It was just like Metal Gear.
Oh, I just remember Metal Gear Solid. I don't.
You
And
drop your ass off in the jungle.
I probably rented that game 3 times when I was growing up. And I know at the very beginning of the game, you find like wreckage or something, and there's a pack of cigarettes that you pick up. And I literally never got past that part. Like I don't know what I was supposed to do, or if there was like some tunnel I was supposed to find. I rented it 3 times and then I quit. So there's a whole experience there that I completely missed just because.
Did you guys ever play Master Blaster?
There's more than one game in my life, Dave. I've done that exact same thing. Where you just get
Or
confused because you're too
Battletoads?
young for it. Battletoads was not good.
That was
They
on
had- they had, like,
Battletoads
giant-
was Super
giant
Nintendo.
Punch with the
hand,
fist and go big or the foot.
I remember that.
The worst thing about Battletoads is when you played 2-player and you would always fucking, because you could hit each other. And you'd end up fucking killing each other midway through the first level just by accident. It would get to a point where you were like, nah, 2 players are fucking disaster.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and everybody was Raphael. Everybody was red.
That was also a good arcade game.
Marble Madness. Do you guys remember that
Yes.
fucking game?
I
Oh
do
my
remember that
God.
game.
That
Never
game-
rented it though. There
Talk
was
about
one of those
taking
games
a controller and wanting to just like beat the fucking shit out of the damn thing. 'cause
What
I
was the
kept
point of
falling
that
off
game though? I
cliffs.
don't remember.
To get the marble it was like there were puzzles and you had to like run the marble up these like skinny stairways and like cliffs and shit, and it would fall every fucking 3 minutes.
Well, that leads up to like Tetris. Do you remember? I remember we had Tetris and we played the shit out of that, and I can't even stand it to this day.
Dr. Mario.
So these two games you just mentioned, I never played on Nintendo. I played them on Game Boy. Like by the time Game Boy came out, those were those games that were like big for those. But I never played them on Nintendo. Like I didn't. Tetris is fucking classic, dude. I love Tetris.
What about
what
Mario Brothers 3 was my favorite Mario Brothers by far.
Oh yeah, 2 was that weird
the
one.
different
and then 3
missions
was
and
awesome.
3 was really good.
2 is really like
2 was really weird.
2 is like an
it's
acid
like the redheaded
trip.
stepchild of like
yeah,
video
it's
games.
such an acid trip. It's weird, that whole Shroomin. It's like Shroomin Mario.
They were trying to do something there and it failed. 3 is totally cool though.
3 is
was
amazing.
that
Oh my
game.
god, yeah. The whistles, they broke that concept out. That was just, and you all watched that movie, so you knew where the first wizard or the wizard
and all
where
that.
the first whistle was.
Wizard, I remember that.
Mario 3 was the one where you could fly for the first time, right?
That was 2, right? No, 3. 3, yeah. The
You had to get a running
Get the
start. and then you
raccoon tail, yeah.
yeah, that was cool.
But I will say 3 was, everybody talks about the first one. Maybe that was huge for the nerds, but 3 is what blew Nintendo. Like I think blew Nintendo, like in Mario, the whole cultural icon. Like, cause 3 was that game that came out of Christmas. The first game I remember that was mad crazy. People trying to like kill each other for this game. Like everyone had to have Mario 3. I don't remember that being the same way before that for video games.
Now you're playing with power.